Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to go over how to solve a physics equation, and the equation that I'm using is v final squared equals v initial squared plus 2ad. So I'm going to start from the point where you already have your numbers plugged in. So if you're looking at something that says 21 squared equals 15 squared plus 2 times 3.0 times d, this is what we're going to do to get d by itself and ultimately get our answer. Your first step is going to be simplifying using your calculator. Keep in mind, you can't actually plug in the equals sign and you can't plug in your variable. So what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to do it in chunks. I'm going to put 21 squared into my calculator. That gives me 441. I'm going to bring down the equals sign. On the right side of the equation, I can't put that all in my calculator at once because I have two different terms, one that's just a number and one that has a number and a variable. So I can just do 15 squared, that gives me 225, and I can do 2 times 3, which gives me plus 6.0 times d. Now I'm ready for step 2, which is using PEMDAS, but I'm actually going to go backwards. So first I'm going to ask myself, should I subtract something from both sides of my equation to make it a little bit more simple? Remember that my goal is getting d by itself. I want to isolate this variable. So can I subtract something from this side to start taking away all this extra stuff I don't want? And the answer is yes, I can. I'm going to be subtracting 225 from both sides, because I can cancel it out. So 225 minus 225 will cancel out to 0. And that makes my life easier because I'm one step closer to getting my variable by itself. Since I subtracted 225 on the right, I have to do that on the left. So this turns into 216 equals 6.0 times d. And I just plugged this into my calculator. 441 minus 225 gave me 216. My next question is, should I add something? I have 6 times d. Should I add something to this side to make it any more simple? No, I should not. If I add something over here, that's just going to make it more complicated, and it's going to get me farther away from my goal. But what about division? Can I divide this side by something to get d by itself? And I can. I can divide both sides by 6.0 because that crosses out here. And that's going to, on the right side of my equation, that will leave me with just d by itself, which is what I'm looking for. So on the left side, I just had to do 216 divided by 6.0 in my calculator, and that gave me 36. So that would be my answer. 36 equals d. If I were taking a physics test and doing this problem, I would always make sure to include my units in my final answer. I know that distance is measured in meters, so I would just add in that m, 36m equals d, to show that 36 meters is my answer.